I was really scared, I'll tell you, because making that big trip down, it was at night, and I had to drive down to Los Angeles. I think it was Los Angeles, and but I was impressed, and I thought, well, that's pretty good. So I went home very happy and very curious, and kind of scared too, because the whole thing was new. Going at night down to Los Angeles and meeting all these lovely people. They were nice, and they were friendly. So I got another book and read that. And then about that time, I went down to San Diego. I guess, I don't know why I did. Some reason, the work or something, because I was a nurse at that time. And anyway, so down in San Diego was a big area. They had a big congregation there, a big gathering of Eckankar, what do you call it, a center? A big center, yeah. And they were very active. And of course, they were there the fifth initiates, which said, oh my gosh, they know so much and everything is so new, and I don't know anything. As a matter of fact, this broke the whole center up for a while. I said, because they were talking about soul travel, which Paul was always talking about, and I was asking more about soul travel, and I said, gee, I wonder if you go up to the astral plane or all these planes, do you need a sweater? Well, that laughter lasted a long time, and I'm still being kidded about it. When I was soul traveling, I might need a sweater because I know the universe out there, it gets cold the higher you go up. And I was only asking about the astral, and I know the higher that you go, the colder you get. So that's it. So that followed me around for quite a while. But I became more and more involved in the Eckankar and began to see what they were talking about, and it was clearing up. And I was in it for, about 20 years, maybe something like that. I dropped out, and then I found out there wasn't anything else. There was nothing else out there. Everything was boring. I've heard this before. So I guess the only reason is that I have to go back to Eckankar. So, after being gone for about 5 years, or maybe 6, going back to an Eckankar center, I was very, again, scared, ashamed, like a dog coming back with his tail between his legs, going back. Here I am. I found out there's nothing else anywhere. So what Paul is presenting makes sense. So here I am. And they didn't even know I was gone. So they said, oh, okay. Come on in and be a part of us again. And so I said, okay. And so I was forgotten. I was never missed, I guess. So anyway, I was in it for a long time, about 10 years or so. And then I began to really look around and look at these, second look at what Paul was saying. And I said, that's wonderful. Paul is just so wonderful. But seems to me there's something more. I don't know what. And the longer I went, and the groups they all were very dedicated, you know, and they couldn't see that I was becoming perturbed. And I felt like there were donkeys in front of me, and there was a long pole on the backs of these donkeys, and on the pole, the end of the pole was a carrot. Of course, donkeys love carrots, and I was riding in the back with the donkeys on the carrots, and I think, you know, those donkeys will never find those carrots, and I shared that, and that's the way I feel. I feel that I'm just treading along like a donkey, and there's what I want is out there, just like the carrots that I'll never get if I keep on this path. And I became very disheartened, I guess, because when I went to the meetings, and I would tell them that this is the way I feel, there's something more, and I became very disappointed, and nobody would admit that anything was wrong, and that I was kind of silly for thinking that there's something more. So I kind of didn't go for a little while, and suddenly, who would arrive on the scene but Prince Valiant? I had known, he was also in Eckankar, and we would say hello to each other and that sort of thing, and we would talk a little bit, but we were busy with Eckankar, and so a phone call came along, and Prince Valiant, asked me out to dinner. Well, of course I was going to say yes. A handsome young Prince Valiant. I wasn't going to say no. Of course I'd go out to dinner with him. I was very flattered, and so we went out to dinner, and he explained what was going on with him, Duane Heppner, and all the wonderful things, and I thought, well, that sounds pretty good, but I'm not convinced yet, but it's something I should look at, I'm sure. And then I guess he sensed that. And so he asked me out again to dinner. And so, wow, of course I'm going to go. Why should I not go out with Prince Valiant? So we did, and he really made more sense, and I was really ready to follow him on this with Duane Heppner and the wonderful world of golden guides and the guitar and all these wonderful things. Of course. So I got very excited, and I have not lost my excitement for this wonderful, exciting path and what's really, really going on here. At last, as a little girl looking up at what's going on, I'm finding out what the heck is going on here. It's a wonderful, exciting adventure is what it is. And it sure has its up days and down days, because I don't stay up all the time. I come down and I get the human side, and I go, but I'm learning more and more to be the person that I guess I really hoped I would be, turning out to be. And I am just gifted so much. I can't believe how fortunate I am to have found this. And I never will quit. Never, ever. I'm going to be more and more involved, and I want to meet these wonderful guides and have a beautiful life that I know is there, and the light and the sounds. It's just exciting as all get out. I suggest that you all just look into this. What's going on? What's really, really, really going on in this world? Well, I've gone on. And I still have one more story to tell, but time is running out on us.
That's wonderful, Lila. That's a good, in-depth, comprehensive story.
Yeah.
How you found the new you and Duane the Great Writer. Yeah. It's very simple, really. And it just takes a matter of seeing it. Not everybody sees it, but you saw it, and you're very fortunate to be able to.
You bet it is. And don't give up. It's there. It really is there. One of the plays I read someplace, this is the other story, I guess I can't keep it, because I had a girlfriend and I didn't know what to do on one afternoon. Well, this is when I was in Eckankar, I think. Yes, I was in the beginning kind of Eckankar. And my girlfriend and I went to the mall, and it was a festival day. They were playing all kinds of some games and some music and all this kind of stuff. And along came, I heard in the background bagpipes, and I just was glued to this sounds, and the bagpipes kept coming along. And we were standing with a group of other people lined up, and the bagpipers in their wonderful kilts, and they were colorful, and the louder they got, honest to goodness, I just began to cry. I just cried and cried and cried and cried. I was amazed, and why am I crying? I mean, the tears were just coming, like I just began to sob, and as I came by, I was just overwhelmed at myself for why was I crying? But as I learned later, I must have heard in another life, but somewhere in one of the planes, on the real side this time, not just on the fifth plane like an Eckankar plane, but no, this is deeper than that, because that sound of the bagpipes is on the real side somewhere. And I must have been there before, some time ago. I found this wonderful thing, and for some reason I turned it down or something. But I get a second chance. Here I am again. And I asked the Eckankar, well, why is it like every time I hear this, the bagpipes, I begin to cry for no reason. But and even to this day, I get a little teary-eyed because I realized that I was there before. And this time, I'm not quitting. So that's my story of the bagpipes. It was such a wonderful feeling, too.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Are they associated in Eckankar? They were associated with what, the fifth plane or so?
I think it's on the fifth plane that you hear the bagpipes.
Yeah.
But as I know, it's on the real side too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Only on the real side. That's the real McCoy.
Yeah. Planes have shifted now, so there's a deep dark border too that is considered the sixth plane, and then the seventh is the real universe, and so on. But those are just classifications for the mind. Really, everything is here and now, and that's what we're focused on, the here and now, and being present. in the isness life is, because that's where everything is right now. But to get to that, it's a little bit of a challenge, but we can do it. It takes going through ourselves, through our different attitudes and ideas and considerations. And like I mentioned before, we have these bodies, these other bodies, and each body has a creation of its own. And to get through these is quite challenging, but it can be done. The real guides have done it, and we can do it as well and go on into more spaciousness and real freedom, and then help others along the way too.
Well, we didn't let anybody else talk, did we?
I don't think anybody's here.
Huh?
I don't see anybody here. We didn't really advertise this, so nobody's here besides us two and invisible people that we don't see.
Well, we're brand new. It's the first time.
The first show, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we can promote it next time. Yeah. And invite other people to get on, like Claudie and Kelsey and Henry and all that.
They didn't hear us?
Nobody's on here that I see, no. So
maybe they didn't know about it.
Right. That's why I say we could promote it next time a little better and warn people that it'll be on. So any last comments, Lila? Or?
Grab your coat and get your hat. You're on the... Get the coat, get your hat. Walk on the sunny side of the street. Life could be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Yay! That's all, folks. Until next time, this is from Lila's Corner. We're going to have a ball here. Please join us and join in the fun. Val and I will be waiting. Bye-bye. Good night. Good night.